welcome to my WIP parade. My name is Crystal Rowe, and this is going to be at least 2 parts because I have a lot of WIPs. So I tried to film this already, and I was just, I didn't know what anything was, and I just couldn't concentrate, so I decided to wait, delete those videos, and then start again. So I'm very rusty. I did a Stitch With Me video. I was very rusty with that. So please bear with me. I feel like a newbie Flosstuber. And by that I mean just, you know, nervous. And I'm sure I'm going to say 1,000 times. So I hope everybody's doing good. This past weekend, Parker turned 13, so we celebrated his birthday. His birthday was Saturday. That was a very low-key day. We just said, okay, whatever you want to do is fine. So he chose to go to McDonald's drive-thru, go to Dairy Queen, get an ice cream cake, and come home and play computer games all day. Then Sunday, we took him to the water park. It's about an hour from here. And I have been checking the weather all week. And my friend met us there with her 2 boys, and every year that's who celebrates his birthday with him. So there was 0% chance of rain. And then when we left yesterday morning, there was like a 40% chance of a thunderstorm, but just during 1 hour of the day. Well, we get to the water park, we're there maybe 2 hours, 30 minutes of which was standing in line to get into the place. And it's a small water park. And then it starts pouring. And at first, a little bit of sprinkling and stuff, if you're already in the water, it's not a big deal. But it poured. So all of our stuff got soaking wet. Our dry clothes, I had them already in a plastic bag because mom brain. I already was like, I don't want a wet towel getting my dry clothes. So Parker and I, we had dry clothes, but our beach towels, everything was completely soaked. And they eventually, because of lightning, they had to have everybody get out of the water. Anyway, so we had to leave. But the boys came over, my friend's sons came over, and they played Minecraft and stuff. So he had a good day. But anyway. I asked for a major life update. I did a Stitch With Me video, and I just kind of explained what had been going on, what I've been doing all this time. So a short version of life update is last December, my mom broke her leg, and she had to go into a nursing home for rehab. So I was just concentrating on that and school. I was going to school for associate's degree in medical coding and billing. I just graduated last week, so I'm done with that. So now I am, it was a 2-year program, but I did it faster than 2 years. I did it in a year and a half. So after all of that, I'm shifting now to preparing for my license exam, certification exam, homeschooling Parker. He just started 7th grade, and hopefully I'll be taking my exam and passing that and looking for a job. So, yeah, I'm just shifting over. My mom is home, and she's slowly building up her strength, so I just, you know, I have more free time, so I'm filming Flosstube. Alright. So, let's get started because I have a lot of WIPs. Some of these I'm not going to know the details on. So, I will just, in editing, if I figure out what a fabric is or something, I can add it in during editing. If not, I'll just tell you what I know, and, you know, that's okay. So, first I'm going to go through my WIP basket that is the one that I keep out all the time. So, most of these is what I've been working on lately. Some of them may be what I want to work on, or I was working on a while back and just haven't touched in a while. So this is what I have been working on for about the past 4 or 5 days, is getting this caught up. This is Temperature Quaker by Stitch and Mommy. She she's a floss tuber and she has designs on Etsy. So every little section is that day's temperature. So this is like January, February, March, April, May, June. You get the idea. And then the alphabet and the little symbols are December. So I was really behind on this. I had the first 3 months. I have a little design board here. I had the first 3 months done. So I had almost finished this one, but I had messed it up, so I had to unpick it. So I fixed this one, and this is April. I finished May. She's barking at the cats. Rosie's blind. That's my older dog. That's something that happened in my hiatus, is Rosie cannot see, so she barks more if the animals are in her way, because she knows her paths, and if the other animals get in her way or brush up against her, it makes her nervous, and she barks more. Other than that, she's doing great. She just can't see, so we have to pick her up a lot and move her because it's just safer. Of course, she wasn't barking before I got on here. But what happened is 2 of the cats came inside and they're playing. So she's kind of like, what are y'all doing? You're in my way. Robo, you want to come over here, Mommy? Rosie, you want to come sit with Mommy? Come here. You want to come up here? Come on. Are they in your way? Come here. Okay, so we have a cat tower. Come here. You want to come up here on your spot? Is that better? We have a cat tower, and the base of the cat tower has, like, it's like enclosed, like a little house for the cats. Well, she likes to go in there and hang out like it's a doghouse. And so sometimes when she's trying to get in the cat tower and the cats are playing or whatever, she's like, what are you doing? This is mine. Anyway, so I finished this last night, which was May, and I started on June, and I decided to stop here. I feel like I made really good progress, and I was tired of stitching on it because, I could go by color. I could do like, oh, okay, all these are the same color. But then I would get off of my counting. So I do go in order. So it's about, you change threads a lot. But I love this. This is on a 32 count, just white linen. Alright. That's it. And it's really, this temperature chart I think is so pretty because it doesn't feel like a temperature chart. It's a Quaker. So in any way you stitch it, any color combination or anything, it just looks pretty. The one thing I did, I picked one color that was too light, and I'll show you guys really quickly. So if you decide to do a temperature chart, oh, and let me explain this. So Stitching Mommy, the way she did it, and I think I have a printout of, no I don't, okay. The way she did it is, for my area of the country, she has different color combinations depending on where you live, which is really thoughtful. So my area, it was like 4 different degrees. Say, for example, 80, 81, 82, 83 would all be the same color. I wanted a little bit more variety. So, because I knew that especially this time of year, the temperature is within like a smaller range. So my Quakers were going to be like all the same color. And that's actually when I look ahead to like this one, it's see how these are varied and this one's more the same. That's why. So I did it where 2 degrees, so 80, 81 would be one color, 82, 83 would be another color. So I just went through my DMC and I made a range of colors that I liked I didn't pick her colors. I just picked colors that I like, and then just did like, you know, light mediums and darks and all those colors in rainbow. And I've made a spreadsheet. I guess you call it a spreadsheet. Let me dig in here and find it. Come on now. I'm already getting way off track on my first project. Some things never change. Okay, maybe I'll put it somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So, this is my range. Now, this is not 100% accurate, you know, as far as the true color, but that's my range. And then what I do is I made this little thing. This is 3 months. So, I have the day coded, how she has it in the chart. Then I put the temperature and the DMC color. So, this has 3 months. I added August over here. And that's what I use. So, I made this myself. She gives you these for your area, and then I just adapted it to what I wanted. Hope that makes sense. And, okay, look at the project. Now look at the bag. My friend Nessa made this bag. It's perfect for this. Because our Stitchy friend group, we're all stitching it. So she made us all matching bags. And I have several bags from her. Alright. So let me put this up. If I keep going at this rate, this thing is going to be 4 hours long. I already have to split it up because I don't have time to edit later. Again, some things never change. What are they doing, Rosie? What are they doing? Was he barking? Most both cats. Alrighty. Second project. This was my birthday start, which was in May. This is Village at Hawk Run Hollow. I do not know the fabric. It is 40 count. I think it's a fox and rabbit, but I'm not sure. And this is what I have done so far. And I love this. Love it. I don't know how I'm ever going to get it done. How do people finish Hawk Run Hollows? I've been watching Handwork Maniac. And, okay, I did not know who Brenda was of Handwork Maniac. And in May, or maybe before May, her video popped up for Mania. And I just clicked on it. And I'm watching her and I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman's amazing. And I really haven't even been watching that much Flosstube because I didn't have time to watch Flosstube. But I was watching hers and I was like, this woman, she's amazing. Everything she stitches is so cool. And she has such a wide variety of projects. And her voice is so soothing. You know, if you need somebody to relax you after a stressful day, watch Handwork Maniac. And she has a few of these done. Now, I know it's like 15 years, period, that she stitched them, but still, I'm like, do you know how many hours this took me to stitch that? Lots of hours. But, yeah, I really like it. So, let me see if I have no, okay, this is, look, yeah, y'all don't want to see that. I'll put a picture up. So, I was going to do Spring at Hawk Run Hollow, and for like 6 months, that's my birthday start, Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. But when I started kitting it up, I wasn't happy with the color conversion between NPI and DMC, and I did not have the time to sit and try to come up with a different color conversion. I couldn't afford the NPIs, you know, unless, I guess if I did like one block at a time in the actual time frame that I'm stitching it, I could buy the NPIs, but at the time, looking at the price of how much the silks were going to cost me, I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. So I feel like the and Nessa made this bag too. Isn't it cute? So, and it's fall. It's perfect for that. Well, Village at Hawkers Hollow is not technically fall, but it is fall colors. So anyway, I felt like the conversion, the DMC conversion of Village at Hawker Hollow, which was one of my runner-ups. I love Shore's Village map probably the most after spring, but I felt like the color conversion was really even, and I didn't feel like I was losing any of the like artistic factor by using the DMC. So yeah, maybe one day when I get my medical coding job, I can start spraying at Hawker and Hollow and get those MPIs. But you know what? It's okay if I don't. I'm happy stitching what I'm stitching. Okay. Next, what's this? Okay, this is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Pumpkin Passport. And this I have discovered this year when my mom was very, very, very sick, that Frosted Pumpkin was good for me to stitch on. It's lighthearted, it's happy colors. It's sort of like a no pressure type thing. Like, I don't feel like it's this massive project like a Hawker and Hollow or a sampler or something that I feel like needs a lot of like is intense. Frosted Pumpkin is just like, let's all just smile and be happy, and we have these cute little characters. That's Frosted Pumpkin. So this is Pumpkin Passport, and so I finished Russia, and like I said, this is just a really happy project. This fabric is a 32 count linen. Don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure I bought it from Mad for Minders, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I have the only finishes I have for 2023 are a Frosted Pumpkin, which I guess I'll try to show it on when I make an actual Flosstube. I mean, it's a small one, like this big. And I finished a Let's Talk Stitching, which I can show you guys that. Well, I'll just show it on Flosstube. That was the project I worked on while Mom was in the hospital and stuff. So I worked on it in the hospital and the nursing home, and then I had just like this much to do, and I finished it last week. I think that's it. I think that's literally the only finishes I've had all of 2023, because I can't remember if I mentioned this. I don't think I did. One of my coping mechanisms during when my mom was so extremely sick and I was living at between here in the hospital and nursing home is starting new projects. I have started from January to about May, probably 30, maybe 35 projects. Yeah. Getting it together and starting it was like my therapy. So I haven't got nothing done because every couple days I was starting something new. And I have a lot of WIPs. So what I decided to do, and I forgot to mention this, is no new starts after July 1st. Because I realized I'm not finishing anything. And it's not that I have to finish stuff, it's that it's a waste to have this many WIPs and to just not get anything done. And it's overwhelming. So I don't mind having like 40 or less WIPs. I'd rather have maybe 35 or less, but I think I'm around 60, give or take. So that's way too many. And I I said no new starts after July 1st unless it's a present. So like just a stitchy present, some kind of exchange, whatever. No new starts. That's it. And so yeah, I haven't started anything since July 1st. There's a couple things I really wanted to start. I really loved the beach one from Country Cottage Needleworks. At first I saw it and I was like, I do not like that. It's so pink. I love pink, but I was like, I don't want a pink set in my house. Like, I don't know. I just was like, but then I kept looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I love it. I love the pink and aqua and the ocean. And so that's definitely on my, as soon as I can start something, I'm going to start a list. It's that new series, Beach Boardwalk. So anyway, yeah, I haven't started anything new because I have so many WIPs. And I remember when like Candace and everybody was doing no new starts last year, and I thought, how could you do that? I have to be able to start something. I can't, and I know they have like a system where they can start something, but now I understand because I have to get through these WIPs. I have to. And this is after I have already weeded a bunch of them out. I have de-kitted things that maybe I started last year or something and I only got a few stitches in. So I just de-kitted it, kept the fabric, put the floss up. I have passed a couple WIPs on. So, you know, I still have all these WIPs. Time for a drink. 20 minutes, I've gone through 2 projects. Alright. This is Welcome to the North Pole by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I started this on, okay, so first I did this. And you really can't tell from this, but I picked colors. I didn't want to buy the overdyes that they had listed because they have a lot of floss colors on here. And I was trying to be budget conscious because I feel like I like overdyes for some things, but I didn't feel like I needed the overdyes for this. So I just tried to pick from my stash a combination of overdyes and DMC. And I started it. I got a lot done. And you really can't tell from on here, but my pinks and reds were clashing. And I just could not find the right combination for this project. So I decided to bite the bullet and order the floss they called for the reds and pinks. That's it. So if I didn't already have it, I ordered the, basically it was Cherry Cobbler from Classic Colorworks, Turkish Red from Week Style Works, and Blue Coat Red from Week Style Works. And once I got those in, I felt so much better about the color combination. Now, all these other colors, I either have like the DMC or I just pick my own. So like the greens and stuff, I was fine with what I picked, but I could not get those reds to work. So I restarted it, and I don't have very much. But to be honest, after stitching all this, when I restarted it, I just lost some steam. So I love the project, but I think I just need to be more in the mood for Christmas stitching. So that's what I have so far. This is the fabric I dyed on 28 count even weave, and I think I used a combination of camel and taupe, I believe. So yeah, when I get in the mood for Christmas, I'll get back to that. So I think it's adorable. It's a really cute pattern. I think this is my only pattern by Primrose Cottage Stitches. So, okay, this is Celebrate Cross Stitch by Madame Chantilly. And I did not like that orange color. So I went through and just I made a ton of changes to this. So what I did, I dyed the fabric. This is I dyed this with Camel by Rit Dye. Hopefully that shadow's not too bad. The way the sun's coming in, it's got the phone shadow, and I don't have, let me see. I moved my light so it's not as close as it used to be. Let's see if that helps. Oh, that's the back of it. And there's a mistake in that cat. I have to, on this side right here, there's a mistake. So I have to find my mistake. So what I had did, and I don't know if I colored the chart or not, which I couldn't show you all of it. Okay, so I'm going to just show you part of it. Okay, you see where I colored these? I changed my flowers. Okay, those are pink flowers. I changed, oh, the shadow. I changed all the pink flowers to yellow. And I took that orange color, which when you pull the thread, it's not very orange. It's just a photograph. But I changed it to more teals. So I just changed the color palette to what I liked. So, and it's actually very bright. So I'm just going to show you some of the floss that I'm using for it. Okay, so like the girl's dress is going to be this Dutch Iris. Okay, so basically where you see her dress is going to be this color. And then I switched the colors of the flowers, and then everything else is pretty much the same. I just wanted more, like, now I'm not going to use all these colors, but this is what I pulled to use. So you can see my color palette. Just sort of, okay, so this is my color palette. Just sort of like happy colors, and then I have all my neutrals over here. But a lot of these are just going to be used a tiny bit on those bobbins. I don't know. I just love the pattern. I wasn't crazy about that bright orange yellow. But I got to figure out where I made the mistake on that cat. And that's a 28 count linen that I dyed. And I recommend, if you're going to dye something yourself, that Camel Rit Dye makes a really good neutral. So, I still got to get better at dyeing my fabric. Because I think I have it right, and then I'll have like a really light spot that's a round circle. This is oh, I made this bag. Trace that. Coat fabric. This is a bag I made out of Lori Holt, one of Lori Holt's panels out of Home Deck that is meant to make bags out of. Okay, this is Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais, Autumn. And I have started several of these. I don't have very much done, but this is what I have done. This is on, and sorry about that shadow again. It's the time of day that I'm right behind my window. This does have a lot on it. Okay, hang on. Let me try to fix this. Okay, so you're going to see that in my glasses, which is why I don't like using this ring light, but it will help with the shadow. Okay, so this is on, I believe, 28 counts. It could be a 32 count. I think it's a 28 count pistachio frappe from Grace Notes Fabrics. And this is what I have so far. So I had some of the colorful colors and some of them I didn't. So I just pulled autumn colors from my stash. And I love these little projects from the Seasons of the Heart collection. I have started 3 of them. I've started autumn. I don't know if it's fall or autumn. I think it's autumn, summer, and winter. I have not started spring. So that one will be one of my starts in 2024. Now, as far as no new starts, I will give myself a Christmas start and New Year's Eve start because that's tradition. But other than that, I won't start anything. So I'll try to pick some kind of like special thing or something I really, really want to do for those 2 days. Because I do a Christmas start, New Year's Eve start, and New Year's Day start. So those 2 days will be within the year, but that's okay. I almost broke my rule when I graduated. I did not walk at my ceremony because a couple reasons. One is I did get a 2-year degree in 2015 in accounting, and I walked in that ceremony and I have pictures and everything. I kind of wanted to because, let me tell you what, I worked my tail off for this degree. I really did. Through some many times, you know, I was just like working at the hospital, wherever. And I thought, you know, I'm going to walk. But to be honest, you know, Parker, it's just too hard for Parker to sit there through something like a graduation ceremony. And I'm speaking of which, like, shirt. It's okay to be different. I love this shirt. There's a lady here in my town that does, you know, she makes these t-shirts. And she makes all kinds of t-shirts. And I messaged her in March and I said, hey, are you going to do any autism t-shirts? Because April is Autism Awareness Month, and my husband and I, we always order t-shirts online. But if you can do them, I'd rather get them from you because she's local and I want to support her business. Well, she's like, sure. So she just ordered a bunch of these, whatever they're called, like, you know, that she puts on the shirts. And I went up there and picked out what I wanted, and oh my gosh, I love this shirt. And every time I wear it, people are like, I love that shirt. So if Mose is chasing his tail, like, he's going to get that tail one day. He's going to get it. Anyway, if she sold these in her store all the time, because see, this is like, she buys like a sheet of different themes to be like, for this, and there was like 20 different screen prints, and I picked 3 of them that I wanted. I think she would sell these like hotcakes because I literally can't go anywhere without somebody going, oh, I love your shirt. Anyway, I'm never gonna get through this grade. I have no idea how I got into that with a t-shirt, and I don't know. Alright, moving on. Okay, so this, I have not worked on this in a long time. What happened is, when I filmed my other WIP parade, I pulled this out and I was like, I need to work on this. So this is Tiny Modernist Moon Phase Bell Pull. I started this for Parker because he likes space and moons and planets and everything. And I need to get him a telescope. Mike sees them all the time at secondhand stores. I need to have him pick one up. And it's only like 4 or 5 colors. Let me see. Sorry. It's 4 colors. White, black, and 2 grays. So, and I'm missing one of the grays. So this is on 14 count chalkboard black. And this is what I have, oh, that's the back of it. This is what I have done so far. This is a restart because I had started it in the middle and it was too hard. This project was too hard to start in the middle. And my fabric's wonky. It was going to fill in the fabric, but I just couldn't do the counting in the middle. I need to start at the top and work my way down. So that's where I am so far. And if you got to kind of look a little bit to see that 310. If you stitch this on black, that border would not show up at all. Now in person, it's the perfect accent to that chalkboard black. It's really great monochromatic project. So when I went over this before, when I tried to do a WIP parade, I thought, I'm going to put that in my WIP basket because I want to get that done for Parker, because the one I have finished for him, he really loved, and he put it up in his room. So that made me feel good, because normally he just like doesn't care about that kind of stuff. But I think he would like this in his room. Okay, so this one is the one I was working on in my Stitch With Me video. This is Orange Tree Sampler, and that's a hot mess. I told the story about why I picked this and everything. So after doing that video, I kept it out and I continued working on it for a couple days. And this is what I have done so far. This is on 20 count. I believe that coffee tea dyed this, but I'm not 100%. I think it's coffee tea dyed. You can see down here what I was talking about, those circles that I miss. I guess they're like popping up out of the water and I'm not catching it, but it won't show in the finished project because this is as far down as it goes and as high as it goes. So yeah, I kept working on that. This is a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing one strand on 20 count. Less chance of messing up, and it goes really fast. Oh, this is a round robin I'm doing. This is Really Friends by Heartstring Samplery. Okay. Let's just have some real talk right now. Would you want to stitch this by looking at this picture? Her pictures are very artistic, but they do not show the charts very well. They're beautifully laid out, all the accoutrement or whatever around the picture, but you can't see this project. And when you go on Instagram, there's very few examples of this project. I had a hard time picking colors because I can't see the project. And a lot of Heartstring Samplery pictures are like that. Some of them are good. A lot of them are not good. They don't show the project well enough for you to even appreciate the design. So that's my bone to pick. Now, I picked my own colors for this. I did a Forbidden Fiber Co. conversion. I just went on their website, ordered a bunch of colors, and I added a couple of other ones like black coffee and things like that. So this is my conversion. And then for the red color, which it's hard to see, but there's I think it's DMC 902, and to me, it does not go. It does not go with the rest of the colors. So I changed that to Mulled Berries, which is a purple color. And there's a couple spots where you need a red, like one of them was in a candle flame. So that is fine for the 902, but basically anything else is not. So I did my first section, and I'm going to mail it to the next person, who's my friend Sue. There's 4 of us doing this, so we split it into 4 sections. So this is our first section. And you can see, like, this would have been DMC 902, which is like a burgundy color. And I really love this. This fabric, I don't know what this fabric is. Sorry. Something from a club. But I love this. So, and the one change I did make, because we all agreed this looks like a married couple, and it's 4 of us friends doing it. And we are leaving it the couple, but okay, we all are taking, see, this is what I'm showing. You can't even really see this. There's a bell above the couple, like a wedding bell or something. We all are not doing the bell. And then for the dress, I think we all changed the dress color. It's white with blue flowers. I'm reversing it. So mine is going to be like, I think it's this color. Mine's going to be the blue with white flowers. So it's less of a wedding dress. So, yeah. Pictures are important. I think more people would stitch that if they could see it better. Because how we picked it, I think, is I didn't pick it. Whoever of our friend group picked it, I think they saw a sample of it maybe on maybe a brag table video or something. Sorry, I have to get a drink. Alright, so my next one is one of my favorite projects. And it is Plum Street Samplers Live on Little. I started this in memory of my brother in February. And this is on an Atomic Ranch. Let me see. Yeah, this is on an Atomic Ranch fabric that was a fabric of the month. But I don't like the color. It's like a harvest gold color. And these don't show up very well, but when I look at the overall picture, I think everything else is going to show up really well. Now, this section right here has water down here. I had all of this stitched, and I had to unpick it because I put it in the wrong spot. And that took a long time to unpick that. A long time, because this is a 32 count, and I had a lot of stitching done. So I had to undo it and then re-stitch the grass and add the trees. So I lost a little bit of steam on that for that reason, but this is one of my favorite projects, and I know it's going to take a long time, but I can't wait for the finished project. And it says, how great the blessing and vast, the art to live on little with a thankful heart. And the reason I picked this is because we grew up poor. And yeah, if you don't know, my brother, he passed away in 2018, and it just reminds me, like, you know, just think about what's important in life. And because we all get stressed out about bills and money, and I felt like that sentiment was like, you know, I have all these good memories and lots of things to laugh about from, you know, not having anything when we were little. So yeah, I wanted to stitch that. So my next one was my Mother's Day start, and that is Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. And I fell in love with this, I think mostly because of this, I call it a willow tree. And I live in South Carolina, and when I see these trees, I think of Charleston. I love Charleston, the Low Country. I don't live in the Low Country. I live in, it's kind of like, I live between the upstate and the Midlands. Some people call it the Lakelands. And this was a fabric of the month too, I believe, from either Atomic Ranch or Bestitch Me. I don't know which one. It's like a pinkish brown, and that's what I have done so far. Now, this fabric is kind of rough, and I stitch in hand, and I was having trouble with the texture, and I have realized I had some I've talked about before, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, and I have learned a lot about myself. And you know, I have done counseling, and I'm in a therapy program right now. I did a counseling program to be as a caregiver for you know, for a child with special needs and a parent, and now I'm in a different one, and I really am working on a lot of things, and I realized I have some sensory issues, and this fabric was driving me crazy. And I love the color, and I didn't want to start it over, but it's rough. So I had all of this stitched. I threw it in the washing machine. I thought, I'm gonna wash it with some vinegar and try to soften it up. I didn't want to use any fabric softener. I was afraid I would mess it up with fabric softener, but vinegar is a natural fabric softener. So I did that, and then I used like a steam iron, and I tell you what, those stitches didn't budge. They did not budge. I didn't have a single stitch come out from putting it in a regular washer in a regular cycle. My washer doesn't have a gentle setting, And I thought, hey, I'm just going to try it. I can always restart it if it messes up. And it did soften it up a little bit, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't stitch on this a lot because it's too rough. So I probably should restart it, but I have so much done. If I can just get through it. But it's... Now, this fabric is not normally that texture. I think probably what it is, it's the dye. Something about one of the colors on this has affected the texture of the fabric, because every other piece of fabric I have from my 2 fabric clubs are not this texture. So I really think it's a chemical thing with the dye that they've used. I can always put it in the hoop too. Duh, Crystal, I could put it in a hoop. And that way I don't have to worry about the texture. Okay. I would probably have a lot more of that done if it wasn't for that problem. Oh, this is Meow Block Party by Hands On Design. And Candace K stitched this, and I loved hers, and I have wanted to start it ever since. So this is more of that same camel fabric that I dyed. I just cut a different piece off of it. And that's what I have done so far of the strip. And then I have a little bit at the top done. So I did some of the strip, and then I went back and worked on the top just for variety. And these have a lot of teeny tiny little thread changes and details. So it took a lot longer. And I tell you what, I do not like stitching those fish on the bottom. Do not. I mess them up, and I have to unpick them and start them over. But I want the finished product, so I'm just trucking along. So that's a fun one. Okay, I'm down to my last 2. This is my WIP basket I keep by my couch. I'm down to my last 2 WIPs from that WIP basket, and they're both Mill Hill kits. So this is the first one. It's Spring Bouquet. And I'm not sure if you're able to see this. This is what I have done so far. So I had messed this up, and I had to take a bunch of stitches out. And when these kits, because it's perforated paper, when I get the kind that has the edge where it's jagged, where it's cut, I just put washi tape around it. Because if I don't, my thread gets stuck. So I love that. I saw this in person at Panda's Crossing in Malden, South Carolina, which is technically my LNS. I've only been there a couple times because it's hard for me to get up there. And now we have another LNS. It's about the same distance from me in the opposite direction, called the Stitching Kitten in Irmo, South Carolina, which is outside Columbia. So I really want to go there. I told Mike, I was like, I really want to go to Irmo, go to that cross stitch store. So, and I have a tacky bill that I use for beading. These things are awesome. They're worth every penny. But I tell you what, I kind of think if you took a CD case and stuck a piece of sticky board in it, it would be the same. But I don't know that for sure. I could be wrong on that. But you could try it. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like a piece of sticky board. But I will tell you this. I had this out with my beads, and my cat Pumpkin stepped on it with her little paw. And her little cat hair got stuck in it, and I could not get it out. So anyway, the other one I have is, now I did finish a Mill Hill. I could have finished that this year. It's a sleigh. I don't know where it's at. It's a sleigh with a Westie on it. This is my other Mill Hill start that I picked up at Panda's Crossing, and it's Cat in the Box. I went up there one day with Olivia, Southern Yankee Stitcher. I rode up there with her, and Dottie, Stitch and Scotty, was there. It was the first time I got to meet her. And Susie, who is a friend of Dottie's, and she's actually, I just saw this morning, she's in Dottie's newest Flosstube. She was there. Oh my gosh, we laughed so hard. I had the best time with them. And I also got to see them one time at Olivia's house. Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard. I needed that so bad. They are also hilarious. So this is what I have done so far on that one. I love stitching Mill Hills. I love it. I want to sell Mill Hills. I want to put Mill Hills in my Etsy store. I just have not had time to do any of that. Still have my bags I gotta list. I have a couple pieces of fabric to put on there. But I really would like to sell some Mill Hill kits. Maybe one day. And let me get some more. Oh, this one. Okay. That's it of the ones that are in my WIP basket. So the rest of these are just, you know, put away in the rotation. This is the other. Oh, this is the winter Seasons of the Heart, and I have a very small start on this. I think this is the correct way. Okay, so this is all I have, is that side border. And this is on, did I dye this? Okay, I dyed this. This is a 28 count even weave that I dyed with pearl gray. So I've dyed a huge piece of fabric and cut a bunch off of it. And I'll tell you why I only have this much done. Because I wanted to start it before I did my no new starts. So that when it gets colder outside, it's more closer to Christmas, I will have it already started and I can work on it. That's why I only have a little bit done. Alright. Stick it up there. The next one is, you know, you start things and you know you're not going to be able to get it done. But you start anyway because it's fun. That's what this is. This is the Greenhouse of Oddity style. And if y'all are familiar, if you don't know what this style is, if you may be more familiar with the Haunted Library style, which I also started and never finished. And I did get quite a bit done on this, but this border is intense, and I messed it up 3 times. And you know, I just sort of was like, not in the mood to keep messing it up. So that's all I have of that. And man, I hate that because the style is so cool, but I just get hung up on these borders. I did the same thing on the Haunted Library style. I was doing the stairs and I kept messing them up, and then I just never went back. So I don't know what's going to happen with this WIP. We'll see. When it gets closer to Halloween, maybe I'll be inspired to pick it up. Well, I don't know. Okay, so what's this? Ooh, this is one I'm very excited about. Okay, it's called Spring. I do not know how to say this the proper way. I bought this from Etsy. Serenita di Campagna. I think it's Italian. Let me try. Okay, so this in the picture is hard to do it justice, but I was on a Zoom with somebody that was stitching one of her other designs, and she said, "Oh, this is she didn't know the name of it, but she said Stitching Mommy is stitching it." So I went to Stitching Mommy's Flosstube, looked up the project, and I went to the page because I liked what she was stitching. Well, when I went to the page, I found these. She has 4 of these ladies, one for each season, and I fell in love with them. So I started spring and autumn already, and I started this on 32 count Vapors by Atomic Ranch, and that's what I have done so far, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. However, Michelle McGraw, her floss tube is made by Michelle McGraw. Her last floss tube, she had ordered a ton of this flare fabric from, I think it's called Stitchery Express, that has all these amazing backgrounds. It's screen printed or whatever. So she was showing all these fabrics with these backgrounds, and I thought, the first thing I thought was, these ladies would look so good on those backgrounds, because basically you're stitching these little motifs and everything else is plain. This is just fabric. All that's just fabric. and I thought they would look really good against those backdrops. So I went on the website and I found some that I really liked, and I may restart these on those fabrics. So there's one with cherry blossoms, but I'm not sure how she would look on it. I have to pick ones where they will actually pop. So I just want to make sure that the background doesn't overshadow the design. And so anyway, I love those. I have the autumn one. I actually think it's next. And I really have enjoyed stitching these. So I may restart them, I may not. I don't know. I might just finish them on what I've got. But the summer theme of the lady is poppies, and there's 2 poppies fabrics. I think she would look fabulous on them. And the winter, she has like she's sitting there and she has like a muffler, I think. Anyway, there's a ton of winter theme fabric. So even if I don't restart these, those 2 I will go ahead and order for when I start those next year. I will order some of that fabric to stitch them on. So I'm pretty sure the next one is autumn. I gotta look in this bag. It's not vinyl front. Yes. So this is autumn. And this picture does not do it justice, but I want you to look at that. And see how she does her photographs? She's like really cool. She is on Etsy. I will try to remember to link her Etsy store because she has a ton of really cute patterns. It's so detailed. It's a lot of beads. Not a lot of beads. There's some beads. But it's like if you want to do something like a Mira or a Bella Filipina, but you don't want to commit to a huge piece, these aren't as big as those. So you still get that fancy lady feel. But I mean, look at how her hair turns into the tree. Ugh, it's gorgeous. And all of this has like beads and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. So I think I have the fabric already that I want to stitch her on. It actually has blues because the fabric that I started it on is a blue green, and I love the way it pops. This is an Atomic Ranch from the Fabric of the Month Club from Stitch New England, and I love this, but I think I'll love it even more on the other fabric. It's called Bob Ross, and it has a lot of blues, but as you go down, it has like oranges and golds, and I thought, oh, that's gonna look so good. So that's probably the one I'm gonna restart this one on. We'll see. So yeah, I mean, I just lost my mind when I saw those designs. They're so gorgeous. And not only are they gorgeous, I just really enjoyed stitching on them. Really enjoyed it. Okay. Whew. It's a lot of work, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's been an hour. Okay. How am I going to get through all these whips? This might be a 3-part whip parade. Because I can't edit like 2-hour videos. What do y'all think? Is 3 too many? I could do like 1 a week. Maybe I'll do that. Do 3 whip parades. Because I talk too much. Okay, this is Beauty Fades by Teresa Kogut. And I got this from her Patreon. I was a member of her Patreon for 1 month. And I worked on this for a while, and then I just kind of forgot about it. When I use these bags that don't have a vinyl front, I tend to forget more about projects because I can't see it with my eyes. Even though I put these little tags on there with the name, I still kind of forget if it doesn't match the theme. So like the temperature chart. Well, for one thing, it's with me all the time because it's a year-long project. But if I can look at the bag and immediately associate that with the project because it matches, I have a better idea of what's in that bag. But something like this, where it's just a random bag that I threw it in, before I unzipped this, I couldn't have told you what was in this bag. Okay. So this is on, I believe, a Bestitch Me fabric. I don't know what it is. It's Monthly Club. And that's what I have so far. So I feel like the colors, I was a little surprised this rose is way more brown than I thought it was, like more pinkish browns, but it's actually browns, but it's pretty. I have a lot more stitching to do on that one. Alrighty. Let me put these back where they go. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, so this one, I've been working on this for a long time, but I haven't worked. I always get the cotton zipper. I have not worked on it in quite a while. This is Barbara Anna, A New World. It's a 5-part. Hopefully that'll focus. It's a 5-part series, and I worked on this a long time, and I just sort of put it away. So the first one was this one, which I finished. This is the first part. Let me get my picture out that I just showed. Okay, this is the second part. Finished it. So when you get that, you sew them all together. So it's like Salem type theme, farm type theme. And then I think I'm on the third one, which is, yes, it's like a woodland theme. So I had just started it. I think it even was a restart. And that's how far I've got. So I've got 2 completely done, and I just started a third, and I have not worked on this in a long time. I was really working a lot on this for a while, but again, I just sort of lost steam on it. Okay, do a couple more. What we got in here? Oh, so many. Okay. My next one is Tracy Kogut, Peacemaker. And I love this, but I had no idea what I was getting into. This thing is like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I did this on a dark fabric, and what I did was I printed out a copy of the cover photo, which I thought was in here. Okay. I guess it's not. I made a copy of this. Then I went in this blank space where there's no stitching, and I colored it with a dark gray to see if it would pop, and it did. So this is a 25 count Lugana, Pebble Lugana, and that took forever. Y'all that do full coverage, I'm telling you, this is not full coverage, but I'm just saying, that takes some commitment. So, oh, sweet girl. She's like 12 now. I forget her age because we adopted her when she was 6. So I have a hard time figuring out what year we adopted her when she was 6. She could be, I think she's 12. Yeah. I do comfort grooming with her. She likes the groomer. She loves getting baths and like haircuts and stuff. But because she, you know, like she's old, like a senior daughter now, it's a little bit harder on her, so I don't take her to the groomer anymore. I just do comfort grooming at home. So basically, one day I will trim her hair down, but she likes her hair short. When it gets past, like right now, it's about as long as she likes it on her back. When it gets past that, she starts getting itchy and stuff and hot. So she's a Yorkie poo. So I trim her hair down, and then another day I will trim her paw pads and her legs and around her face and stuff. That way she doesn't get too exhausted. Anyway, sweet girl. But yeah, this is a lot of stitching. And if you look in, okay, so see all that? It's all different colors. So I'm trying to do all the like ecru, and then go back and fill in with the colors. But, ooh, a lot of stitching. But this is one of those projects that I want to work on, but I have so many WIPs I can't, so that's like the whole point of doing this. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I've hit an hour. And I know a lot of that is because I did like life update stuff and I went off on tangents, but it's okay. That's why we're here. So I'm just going to stop there. That way I have kind of like, it's not too long. And maybe next week I will just pick up where I left off and I will go through the next ones. And you guys let me know, are 3 WIP, is that okay? Because if I don't split up into 3, I'm going to have to go really fast through my other WIPs, which I can do that if I try really hard, but I also like to talk. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you for all of your supportive comments. I know people have messaged me and commented, and I'm sorry I have not gotten back to you, or if I haven't gotten back to you, but just know that whenever you do that, it just, it just touches my heart, and just, I don't know, it's like somebody giving you a hug. I like hugs. I'm a hugger, and, with the pandemic, like, I had to stop giving people hugs. Which a lot of people probably like. They were like, stop hugging me. But it just feels like a hug. It's a virtual hug. So thank you guys, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.